Pacelli and Boomer, they're grizzled and gray, talking about Star Wars from back in the day. Got a talk show called Geeky Geezers, it's true, spinning old tales about the stuff they went through. From Atari to Shrek, they know every line. Geeky Geezers, man, they're feeling just fine. Pacelli's got a lightsaber, swings it with pride. Boomer's got a game but plays it deep in the night. They're ranting about He-Man and old X-Men too. On Geeky Geezers, they're the nerdiest crew, talking Transformers toys that twist and they turn, singing blues for the geek life, their hearts still burn. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're sitting in the studio, mics turned up loud, reminiscing about Super Friends, feeling so proud. Pacelli loves Spider-Man, Boomer's for Hulk. They argue about Star Trek with passionate both. From Betamax tapes to their old D20s, Geeky Geezers where the nostalgia flows. They got fans in the chat, from the young to the old, tuning in to hear stories that never get told. Talking Ghostbusters, proton packs, toys in the box, and Saturday mornings with cartoons that rocks. Pacelli and Boomer, they're keeping it real. Geeky Geezers with that old school feel. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream, talking comics and movies, they're busting the scenes. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're singing the blues for the games that they play, for the VHS tapes and the arcades that pray. But the spirits are young, though their hair's turning white. Geeky Geezers keep the nerd fire alight, so tune in each week to the Geeky Geezers show, where Pacelli and Boomer let the good times flow. From X-Files to X-Men, they're dropping the news, singing praises of geek life with them old blues. Pacelli and Boomer, forever they'll be. Geeky Geezers living wild and free.
Hello everyone, welcome to Geeky Geezers. I'm your host, Aged Boomer. This is my co-host, Pacelli.
Let me ask you, Boomer, do you feel like you're living wild and free? Sometimes you gotta wonder, right? Well, I'll give you a little bit of a white pill. Just was listening to a video before we started from, I want to say it was the Second Circuit Court, that looks like, and I don't know where this is going to go, but it looks like they're starting to turn on the idea that you're not allowed to make your own hooch, that there is no legal reason that can be, you have a right to do that, and there's nothing the government can do or say about it. Ooh. The only argument they have is taxation, but taxation that curtails activity is not legal. You can only have a taxation for the purpose of raising revenue. And in this particular case, the person who wanted to make some whiskey in their not living room, in their kitchen, was told that's illegal. You can't do it. Well, how do you mean? You know, you regulate it by tax. I'll pay the tax. Nope, you can't do it. Well, if I can't do it, then there is no revenue being raised and you have no justification. So that court case seems to be going forward. And I think that's a win for living wild and free, I would say.
Well, that's all well and good. I don't think that's enough. I don't know why I'm getting taxed on my whiskey. I'm going to start a whiskey rebellion, and we'll see how that goes. How's that? Oh, wait. Never mind.
It's happened before.
That's what I learned. You learn this. You used to learn that in grade school when you're studying U.S. history. It's what happened after the Revolution. Washington cracked down on those guys getting mad about the whiskey tax.
What was it? What was the? There was a joke. I was in high school at the time, and the teacher was talking about. It was the chapter on the whiskey rebellion, and he said, "You heard about the whole whiskey ring scandal, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Are you sure?" Because what happened was, and I don't remember who the president was at the time, had left a glass of whiskey on an old George Washington end table, and it left a ring, which caused a big scandal, and that was the whiskey ring scandal. And everyone, in high school, they're just looking deadpan, like, really? And I just burst out laughing. I started laughing so hard. He goes, well, at least one person gets it.
It was funny. I thought it was funny. It's
Well,
like a
it
coffee
just
race.
because the reason it struck me as funny was, yes, I recognized it was a joke. The joke itself isn't so funny, but this particular teacher wasn't the type to joke. He was a real straight kind of guy. So it just took me by so much surprise that he was making any joke, let alone this joke. And I started laughing so hard I couldn't
Well,
stop. Anyway,
but the other
I
kids
got
didn't
brownie
get it.
points for that. No, the other kids didn't get it at all.
Very funny.
Anyway.
Very funny. Well, let's say hi to the chat, though. Of course, there's you. Chat is
Do I
open,
get a
everybody.
hello?
That's
Well, I was
right.
gonna,
I interrupted
well,
you before
well,
you
see,
got
Netter,
to
you
that.
ruined my bit because I was going to bring up review of it. Oh, I forgot about Netter.
There you go. There you go. Good.
Anyway,
point.
Netter of Netter's Network, our local, our resident Geezette is here with us in the studio tonight as well. Hello.
That
Good
is true.
evening. Yes, I am the one, the only Geezette.
And she's the one, well, indirectly financing the stream because she received a gifty from Ruby Hoove.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Oops, I accidentally took it down.
What I
as you
originally
were
wanted to
putting
do
it
was
up.
do my little thing where I say hi, Netter of Netter. Oh wait, I was going to.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like that went to a Jamie Milligan. So welcome to membership. Oh, Janice, I'm sorry, Janice Milligan. Yeah, see, my eyes aren't what they should be. That's
Welcome,
because I'm a
Janice.
geezer, right?
And we
But,
get a hail
welcome
to
to
the
membership
chat
there.
from Connie. Always good to see you, Connie. Who else is here? Deleted scenes. Welcome. Got a lot of people coming over
Salute.
from
Hey,
from,
Deleted, do you have a stream after this? Because I didn't see one for after this to forward people to.
What's up, my fellow old farts?
Old farts, yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. I'm stumbling around with these keypads because I decided to watch all of season 1 of Starfleet Academy, and it was like an Oedipus Rex ending, and I was just clawing my eyes out. So I'm just trying to get through it, man.
Are you serious? The ending was like, oh, okay. I was gonna say I had no idea what the ending was. Didn't really care. But...
No, my point is that it's so awful. You'll claw your own
Oh,
eyes.
I would imagine so.
Let me tell you something. I watched Picard season 1. That was it for me and Kurtzman. I
don't
did.
blame you.
I had done Discovery season 1 and 2, and I thought 2 was far worse than 1, and 1 had a lot of problems, but I wasn't ready to give up on the show yet. And then we got.
So a little bit of a side note here, and I think we got time to do this, to get on a little side tangent. I saw a video piece. There were no citations, so I don't know if any of this is legit or not. It could have been just some YouTuber talking out of his ass. But he was saying that Zachary Quinto is really not fired up about the current Kurtzman Trek himself. He feels that it has retroactively made everybody that's been involved in Star Trek feel like crap. He actually took a great deal of pride in, having met with Leonard Nimoy, kind of gotten his blessing, and was doing his best to keep alive the spirit of the character. And now he looks at what they're doing, and it's like, this is not good. And apparently he wasn't the only one. He's talked to some other people, involved with Star Trek, including Patrick Stewart, who said, with the exception of the third season with Terry Matalas, he had not been very pleased with the course that Trek has been taking either.
Really?
And
You didn't like Picard being turned into an android?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well,
that's why, specifically with the exception of maybe the third season. So it seems, if this piece was to be believed, that Zachary Quinto and the other actors that did the J.J. Prize movies, part of the reason they would not come back for, what was it, 2 or 3 attempts to do new movies with them, wasn't just money, and it wasn't just working on other projects. It was anytime they heard Kurtzman was involved at all, they said no, absolutely not. We will do nothing with Kurtzman. I was like, wow, if that's true, That's a big deal.
He's blown up a lot of stuff. He's not talented. He doesn't deserve to be working out there, but he's not the only one. And I'm just tired, man. I'm waiting for the ship to turn.
Well, we already know that they have the second season already in the hopper, so that's coming whether we like it or not. But we also know they're not going to be renewing his contract. So
We know that for
in and of
sure.
itself yeah.
I don't see why they would, but until I get the official, I guess they're going to
No,
wait
there
before
was
they
there
say.
was an official notice in the trades
Okay,
that,
all
that
right.
he was not being renewed this
Good.
year. So, and
Fine.
well, look, they've already started scrapping the sets. So, nothing's going forward. They're not going to invest any farther in him.
Jessica Hardo, welcome. D. Pensek, welcome. Lynn Green was here, welcome. And let's see, Jamie Lynn Simmons, welcome. Geek Flag with a like, share, and subscribe. Yes, thank you for that.
Did you say hi to Jamie Lynn? I didn't see.
I thought I did, but if I didn't,
Okay,
hello,
that's fair.
Jamie
That's
Lynn.
fair.
Yes.
David Penson.
And
Nate telling you do all the clicky things.
the clicky things are good. So we always start out these streams trying to reminisce about, the good old days. Patrick Stewart needs. Okay, well,
Because he's the reason that 1 and 2 suck so bad. Well, that may be, but I think he's if again, I don't know how much stock to put in this thing that I saw. It could be complete BS, but if it were to be taken at face value, maybe he's looking around and going, "Yeah."
I hate to say this. I think Patrick Stewart, with all due respect, I think you give him a paycheck, he shows up.
No, I think a lot of these actors are like that. I think a lot of them are like that, especially if they just take the paycheck and shut up. The ones that are really, like Robert Picardo, he's a true blue ideologue, and he's the one I would say he can go F himself.
So let's bring up the presentation. I'm very excited.
There you go. You did it yourself. Good man.
I'm a big boy now. Okay.
You don't need me anymore.
Tell you, man. We'll, depending on how Friday goes, we'll see what we're talking about. But we got now. This is Nescafe.
Good old days of coffee.
Taster's Choice.
Yeah.
Is coffee important? Is Taster's Choice important? Now, to be fair, this is not the gold blend. I tried getting a halfway decent picture of the gold blend because it was the gold blend that was getting a lot of press during, the 1990s, I think, maybe late
Something
80s,
like that, yeah.
because there was something we like to refer to as the Taster's Choice saga.
It absolutely was. If it was the modern day, keep that right there. I got something to say about that in just a moment. But if this was today, this would be a series of like TikTok or YouTube shorts, and you'd call them micro dramas. But this kind of was like a little bit of a soap opera in an ongoing series of commercials. Well, I know you know who this is, but chat, do you guys recognize that face? He's much younger.
Much younger.
Than you might remember him from. But he was one of the Scoobies in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Specifically, that's Giles there. Anthony Stewart Head.
Yes. Which makes me wonder if he's related to Murray Head. But anyway.
They're brothers. Yes, they are.
They are? No kidding.
Yes, they are. Mm-hmm. Nope, no kidding.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that just that opened up a lot of... okay, so there we go. You know what? That doesn't shock me.
It shouldn't
How
shock
do you say that?
When you hear him sing,
Yes.
and you're like, okay, I see it. I hear it. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We have Anthony Stewart Head now. This is how the first commercial airs. Young, I wouldn't say young, but a handsome gentleman.
Compared to us now, he was young.
Living in his apartment alone, and there's a doorbell ring, and he gets he has a lovely neighbor next door, and she asks to borrow Do you have any coffee? And of course, they're all proper. You hear that slight British accent.
Which is weird that they're not talking tea, but that's okay.
Well, they drink coffee over. I don't know. You know what? And it's always about taster's choice, and it's always about how we have something in common. We have great taste in coffee. Do they have other things in common? Netter, if you'll permit me, especially being of the opposite sex, did these interest you too? Let's be honest, this was a grand romance unfolding.
It did.
It was-
The big thing behind the coffee is that it's instant coffee that tastes like real fresh ground coffee.
Right.
That was the big shtick on the coffee
Yes.
itself. And of course, the budding romance that started was like, okay, what's going to happen next? So you had to wait like 6 weeks to 2 months before you saw the next segment.
Yeah.
And then it abruptly stopped when some information came out about Anthony Stewart Head.
Oh, there you go.
Really? But I thought they did do sort of a final one. I thought they did finish it off.
Let's see. I remember them meeting, having coffee. He met her son. Actually, I think they had a
Okay.
date. She met he met
Yeah,
her son.
some guy pops up at the door and he's like, "Hey, who are you?" And of course, it's her son. Another guy pops up the door. "Who are you?" "I'm her brother." Okay, it's always.
Now it's starting to sound like a Saturday Night Live
Yeah,
sketch
I don't
or Mad
remember
TV.
anything after him meeting her son.
There was an Italian gentleman because they were in Italy and he was wanting to take her to dinners. "Oh, I got to get her out of here, the paparazzi," and he's interfering with the Italian gentleman wanting to court her, and it was yes. Very European. Of course, they go to France in one episode and she brings the taster's choice with, "You got my telegram. Well, I had to meet you. I know I had to give this to you," and it was taster's choice. And you're wondering, what are they doing? So... Not that I want to get personal. Is there a reason we know something about Anthony Stewart Head? What came out?
Apparently, he was involved in an affair,
Okay.
and that came out during the time. So they're like, "Nope, we're not going to deal with that. We're cutting you loose."
It kind of does
no.
make the commercials feel a little bit different when you know something personal about. Yeah, I like that.
But not with the actress here.
No, not necessarily with the actress. Sharon Mahan, she's one of those faces. It's like, man, I know I've seen her in a bunch of things, and you look back, and she was in Cluedo. She was in an episode of MacGyver. She was in a lot of things. Felicity, Cinderella.
Oh, yeah, look at that. The Gold Blend couple. It's important to know that it was the Gold Blend.
Right.
I don't know if that costed more money. I didn't drink Taster's Choice. Now I kind of want to have some Taster's Choice after watching this. It makes you want to drink the coffee. That's the weird thing about this, because it's all very sophisticated romance. Look at these two. We're rooting for them, aren't we?
Right? Exactly right.
And things keep coming up the works. Like there's a lady in his apartment. I wonder who's that, like his publicist or something. And like it's always like these things where you're like. And then, of course, when he meets the son, it's like, does the son have a father? Yes. And then he meets the father, and he's like, the father's drinking Taster's drink. Well, you and I have one thing. Well, that's more than one thing we have in common. We have to share the same taste in coffee or something.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
this.
yeah. And well, there's a great picture of them together. That's pretty cool.
I think they're a good-looking couple. I think that I was
don't
rooting
think
for them.
she ever. It would have been great if she had done an appearance on
Buffy.
Buffy. That would have been great. Just a little cameo, just a little something. But no, they didn't do any of that. That would have been cool though. Actually, there wasn't a scandal involving Anthony Head or Sharon McCann that ended the campaign. The story of the Gold Blend couple, as it was known in the UK, actually reached.
I thought it
definitive
did.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm
But there
maybe
was
thinking-
supposedly
I'm sure that there was rumors about things, and when two things happen that could correlate things, people will make something of it. I'm sure people wanted there to be more scandal related to this implied story. So
It's possible that
simply
people,
because
that's
the
what people
narrative
surmised,
part
though,
was finished.
from what was going on.
In the final installment, which aired in 1993, the two characters finally shared a kiss.
And
Wow, that's nice. I don't remember the last one.
we ended
That's
up on
very
Buffy a
interesting.
little while later.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to continue after that, He kissed her goodbye and said, I can't maintain a relationship. I've gotta go mentor this spoiled blonde girl.
Look at this though. That was during the thing where he was trying to interrupt the date with her and the Italian gentleman.
Yeah.
Says, "Oh, the paparazzi! I have to escort her home," and because he's getting jealous, isn't he? It's like this tabloid room in the UK that the two actors were having an affair. Oh, okay, so that's what
is
that was.
that what it was? Okay, and that makes a lot of sense because tabloids would want to pair up people like this all the time. Yeah, I get that.
Oh, deleted. I want to do the '90s again. I can't deal. I can't deal with the 2020s. I do the aughts again. I'll be honest with you. Even the aughts were fine. Heck, even the last decade had some good things. This has just been terrible. This decade, just all the crap.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for, deleted, because think about it. They could have spun these two off into like a romantic sitcom type of show, and it could have ended up like the Geico Caveman TV series that just was like, no, this just doesn't work.
Look at that. Mm-hmm. That's how you enjoy your taster's choice in a gold-rimmed mug. Look at that, gold-rimmed
exactly
coffee cup.
Right. Do you did you ever drink? Well, let's be honest what this is. It's freeze-dried coffee. Have you ever had freeze-dried coffee?
I haven't. My mom makes something. It might be this brand, actually. She does make freeze-dried coffee. Of course, we have a Keurig now, too, but I think she still goes for the freeze-dried stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I used to drink. I actually drank more freeze-dried coffee than I drank fresh brew because we used to have it in the Boy Scouts when we'd go camping. It was just standard. All you had to do is boil some water, add some coffee, boom, you got coffee.
But I watched some pre-commercials for this. They said they freeze-dried it. You see the ice going over it to seal in the flavor. They said.
It's kind of true, actually. It's kind of true.
Making little coffee crystals.
Yeah, I'm sure that those special effects that they show are kind of... That's not really how freeze-drying works. Freeze-drying has to do with very, very low temperatures that sublimate the water in the beans. Well, in the grounds, I should say. Well, actually, I guess they actually brew the coffee, and it's the coffee itself that gets sublimated. So imagine a cup of coffee, all the water almost instantly disappears. And whatever that sediment is left, that's the pure freeze-dried coffee. And then when you add boiling water back to it, it's essentially the exact same thing. So if the coffee that they brewed originally was good, the freeze-dried stuff is going to be just as good.
The episode where female watchers showed up for Faith, it turned out to be evil, and Josh Wheaton was trying to get Sharon Mohan for the part, but she was not available. Okay, so
that is okay. That restores my faith that they at least tried. That they at least tried. That's kind of brilliant. Okay.
Oh wait, that's it. I can only find so many pictures from this though.
Well, that's true. Well, because these commercials were also less than 30 seconds each. So you had to get a lot of story and plug the product very quickly.
So, but I don't know why they didn't keep doing this with commercials, man. It's like they would do skits, but I guess you have the progressive lady and her weird team.
Oh, right, Flo, people. Right?
Flo, yes.
Flo, yeah. There were some good ones there too.
Flo was on an episode. Flo was on Mad Men early on. She was one of the secondary people, and I guess she got the job doing those commercials. So then she left Mad Men. But yeah,
interesting.
These commercials were the first TikTok or YouTube shorts, probably.
I guess you're kind of right. You're kind of right. I agree.
You know what you kept wondering? You kept wondering what is going to separate these two. What scandal? What do we know? Like, what are his deep, dark secrets? What are her deep, dark secrets?
Her deep, dark secret is that her family owns a tea empire.
Yeah, her, you know.
Could become a whole, like, Romeo and Juliet kind of a thing. Coffee.
She would get wrapped on the wrist if she even looked at a coffee bean when she was a kid. Yeah, I know.
Right. Her family was at war with Juan Valdez.
There you go. That's another ad campaign.
Exactly. Exactly.
Juan Valdez should have showed up and just started smacking them around.
No. It would have been even better if he'd have showed up. Try some of these.
Then
And then
there's
just trot
the
off.
there's the Folgers family. There's the Folgers family. Oh, I started making Folgers because the little John boy showed up. We didn't think we'd expect him here for Thanksgiving, and he shows up and he's making coffee for everyone. You know those things.
Right.
But this was the
There
only
were-
one that had an ongoing story. Yes.
I'm trying to remember, and I bet if anyone can think of it, it's probably Nate. There was somebody who was in a series of commercials, and when his run with them ended, the competition picked him up, and he did a commercial for them as if he'd like jumped teams or whatever it
Was
was.
that the Can You Hear Me Now guy?
I think you might be right.
You know, I think we'll have a lot to
Yes.
talk about should we need a subject for Friday. So
Yeah, there you go. I'm starting to real because I made a joke that we could turn the whole Taster's Choice thing into a whole 2.5 hour last call, but the reality is just on these general commercials from back in the day, we probably could.
I decided we would do it as a good old days instead. That's why. But yeah, here we go.
Yeah, Lynn confirmed it was Verizon. Netter is right. Yeah, thanks, Lynn. And she just beat Nate to it, that's all. But there you go.
I got to make sure I got my notes ready because I know we're going to get into the main story. But anything left to say about this?
No, this was a fun one. It was commercials like this that made you want to watch the commercials. You know, there weren't many of them. You'd get bored. This was your opportunity to get up, go to the bathroom, get yourself something to eat or whatever, make yourself some Taster's Choice. But this, I'd be like, oh, the Taster's Choice commercial's on. Let me watch this before I leave. Yeah.
They had to find actors that knew how to say coffee properly. You have to say coffee in a right way, like to make it sound like you want the coffee, right? Like Anthony Stewart knew how to say the word coffee.
Well, and you know, British actors are good with accents, but you've got a minefield if you come over to the United States and you're doing commercials because you got coffee, you got coffee,
No,
you got coffee.
that's not going to have people tune in. That's not. You get Dennis Leary on there. Dennis Leary should have popped in and started ranting about coffee in the middle of one of these.
That would have been good too. You know, or just somebody saying, "Is that how you pronounce coffee? Should be coffee."
Yes, just funny. All right. The reason why they always drunk the coffee from gold because it was the gold blend. Oh, I get it.
That makes
You have to
sense.
sip that from a
makes
gold
sense.
cup.
Yeah.
Could I get like a Doctor Who like mug that was like based on the gold Daleks and drink the coffee from that? That would be kind of cool.
Well, maybe at least a salt and pepper
I
shaker.
miss the gold Daleks. I miss 80s Who. It's fine. It's never coming back. All right, let's move into. Speaking of never coming back, I'm sorry, that's rude. Okay.
Yeah.
Double Dragon creator Yoshihisa Kishimoto has passed away.
Well, very
I
good.
didn't
You
mangle your
pronounced
name.
his name. I had a harder time with that. I figured you'd be able to get it right.
Not always, but let me get back to my notes. Let me just drag these. Just drag them and open them up. Okay. All right. He is the creator of Kuno-kun and Double Dragon game franchises. Has passed away. He was age 64. Sad news was confirmed by his son Ryubo via Facebook. I am sorry to inform you that my father has passed to rest on April 2nd, 2026, says Ryubo. Thank you very much for everything you have done for me during my life. Please forgive us that we will perform at the family funeral. I hope we continue to enjoy my father's works, including Kuno-kan. Okay. Kishimoto's career in video games started in the early 80s at Data East with the Laserdisc arcade games Cobra Command, Thunderstorm, and Road Blaster being his first projects.
Laserdisc games. Do you remember them?
Yeah, like I guess games like Dragon's Lair. These are probably Japanese.
I was just going to say,
yeah.
because I didn't know these particular games. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. However, it was, I think, well, Cobra Command rings a bell, but I don't know if I've ever played it. However, it was Technos Japan, where Kishimoto made the most impact. He designed Niketsu Koha Kuno-kun, known in the West as Renegade, drawing on his personal experiences as a cool school kid who regularly got into fights. In the beat 'em up genre, it is considered to be a seminal release and would be the first in a long line of games in the popular Kunio-kun series. I should know how to say that, considering I have a whole collection of those games. Kishimoto's next project would find even more fame. 1987's Double Dragon is arguably one of the most famous coin ops of all time and would spawn a host of sequels, comics, toys, and even a Hollywood movie. This is right. Did you see the movie version of Double Dragon?
Was that the one with Jean-Claude?
No. That's Double Impact, which I think was supposed to be Double Dragon, and I don't know if there's something fell out with that. So then we got Double Dragon with Scott Baio, and it had Robert Patrick, Terminator 2. Is that the name right? I think that's his name. Yeah, he played the villain in that movie, the evil Shadow Lord.
That's weird.
And Alyssa Milano was also in it, sporting a dyed blonde crew cut as one of the street kids.
This sounds weirder and weirder.
No, you have no idea. Okay. Do you know about Double Dragon? Let me stop here. Interrupt. Do you know what Double Dragon is?
I did play the video game. Yes.
Okay, so this is what's known. I think people credit this guy as the man that created the video game genre known as the beat 'em up. I wasn't aware that he based it on his own childhood. I assumed he just watched American movies such as The Warriors and Death Wish and figured, oh, that's just what it's like in the U.S. and based all the games on that, where people just go around the streets and start beating people up, like in Roadhouse. Roadhouse is a beat 'em up movie. If you watch that movie, it's just people picking fights with Patrick Swayze every 2 seconds.
Jesse Guajardo says Troy Double Impact sounds like a hell of a nut shot, which you can do in Double Dragon. I almost said Double Impact. Thanks a lot.
I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm thinking of Mortal Kombat with that. But anyway, Double Dragon. Yeah, I guess you can kick. Okay, I want to say
Double Dragon was kind of a side scroller, but yeah, it was very much a beat 'em up.
Side-scrolling beat 'em up. That's what they would call it. Paved the way for games like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Final Fight game. My favorite beat 'em up series, which is Streets of Rage on the Sega Genesis. I would argue Streets of Rage 1 is like a version of Double Dragon that works. I'm being mean on Double Dragon. I'm sorry.
Would it be going too far to say like Ninja Gaiden?
The arcade game, yes. I would argue the arcade Ninja Gaiden is a beat 'em up. The console version was not. That was a side-scrolling action game, because that was the wonderful thing about when you got ports on the NES from the arcade. Sometimes it would not resemble the arcade game at all. They would just slap the name on it. The Double Dragon on the NES, though, that was a huge deal. For those of you kids out there not in the know, this is before I even owned an NES. I remember my friends were all clamoring to get their hands on Double Dragon. This was apparently like the big game at the time. Street Fighter 2, it was the game everybody wanted because it was probably the first beat 'em up that was made that really worked. Frankly, Renegade doesn't hold up as well, though you can always try it out for yourself if you buy some of these collections they have on. You can download or buy them. My problem with Double Dragon is, though, when you turn to face the opponent with your joypad and press the button, you kick back instead of punching forward, and it throws me off, and you got to just get used to it, how the controls are almost in reverse.
Now that you mention that, I remember that, yes.
And it drives me crazy, whereas other beat-em-ups, no, if I want to punch, I just do that, and sometimes they would have a special move by you holding both buttons together. I know that for a lot of people, they are big fans, and what is that misinformation superhighway? Is that your stream tonight, Delulu?
That is the stream he's got coming up right after
I like that title. That's a good title, actually. But yeah, Double Dragon, big deal game series. Double Dragon 2, even more so on the NES, because that one was actually 2-player. Because when Double Dragon came out on the NES, the NES was not powerful enough, or they didn't have a powerful enough cartridge at the point for you to actually play that game 2 players simultaneous. That was for the sequel, and from what I hear, the arcade Double Dragon game, it was 2-player. But if you tried playing that thing 2-player, that thing would start to chug because that's just how the games were not as advanced yet, even in the arcade, for to do a properly multiplayer beat 'em up game. It's weird to see how things go forward though. But see that you could pick up weapons like some lady who's dressed like in S&M gear and she has a whip and you knock her down. You can pick up her whip and start whipping her back with it. And that's what we love.
And that's
about
all
these
she
games.
wanted in the first place.
Anita Sarkeesian hated Double Dragon.
Of course she did.
Because the
She hates
damsel
fun.
gets punched in the beginning in the stomach and dragged off, and she got really angry. That was like this whole thing's a lark.
Yeah.
Later on, they would do a Double Dragon meets the Battletoads game too, which, if you don't know what the Battletoads are, they were sort of like I don't want to call them a knockoff Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they're made by Rare, the British company. They were trying to come up with their own IP, so they called them the Battletoads. They were these anthropomorphic toads. But they did a team up with them. But yeah, Double Dragon. It's sad to see him go. That's actually rather young as well. I get worried when I hear about all these Japanese men dying young. I worry if there's something going on over there we don't know about, because this is I don't know. Like I'm still upset about Satoshi Kon passing away years back. But he was a creative consultant for 2012's Double Dragon Neon. That was a ridiculous game made by Way Forward where they had the shadow boss talk like Skeletor. In fact, it wouldn't shock me if it had the guy that did voice Skeletor as the actual voice of him in the game. But anyway. All right. Okay, but rest in peace. Grand Theft Auto 6 price change revealed. How much will it cost? Well, for starters, okay, I'll be
Shocking.
good. I'll be kind to WW Pro here. If it's revealed, then why don't we know how much it costs? Anyway, okay, let's go on. I think he said he talked to somebody. Okay, this is actually not about it. Let me read it. Okay, while gamers wait for Grand Theft Auto 6 to open for pre-orders, they now have some idea of how much the game will cost. For months, online speculation suggested that the latest entry in the iconic franchise could exceed $100. However, in an interview with the game business, Strauss Zelnick, CEO of Take-Two Interactive, parent company Rockstar Games, indicated a more conventional price range for Grand Theft Auto 6 of $70 to $80. Okay, so yeah, this is some interesting digging on WW Pro's part. Zelnick was asked whether Take-Two had considered inserting advertisements into pause menus or loading screens. He responded, "For free-to-play titles, yes. For the titles which you paid $70 or $80, no." That's good. That's smart. Because when you're paying $70 for a game, please don't put advertisements in it.
Right.
Though it's funny, when I got San Francisco Rush 2049 for the Nintendo 64, on the billboards there was ads for Slim Jims.
Okay, wait. Is that the kind of adverts they put into it? They're on things like billboards?
No, it would be like an ad that would play. That's what they're talking
Oh, no, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did not explicitly confirm the final price for Grand Theft Auto 6. This framing of the discussion around the $70 to $80 range is being interpreted by some as a signal that the game will launch in line with standard AAA pricing, rather than breaking into higher unprecedented pricing tiers. I want to make a point that the only people that have done $80 for a game so far has been Nintendo. Now, I know that places like Ubisoft with their Star Wars Outlaws game, they did have tiers with DLC that would be more money than the standard $69.99. But for the base game, I think they charge $69.99. That's really just Nintendo that did the $80 game. And I'm hoping that Rockstar, I think maybe if they're smart, they realize, especially with consoles going up, we need to keep the game prices as they are. We can probably charge $69.99. I'm just hypothetically saying this, $69.99, because let's be honest with you, in addition to the single-player campaign, people play this game online, and what do they do when they play Grand Theft Auto Online? They buy shark money, which is in-game currency, which you pay for real with real-life currency. So there's your moneymaker there. This is an entry point, not just to a single-player game, but also to a robust online campaign where people spend lots and lots of money, like they do in places, or like they did in places like Fortnite and games like Fortnite. So I think it would be kind of dumb for them to really raise the price,
Yeah.
because eventually they're going to get to a point where people will just say F it and say no.
Two
Uh,
things I wanted to say. First, you brought up Star Wars Outlaws. That's actually the campaign name that I'm using for my Wednesday night role playing game. I even stole the theme music from them for it because I figured why not. And but secondly, more on topic. I'll be honest with you. If they were charging $100, and I bought this for $100, and there was an advert in it, I would take it right the hell back and say, no. Unless you're going to pay me for every single commercial I got to watch, screw it. I want my money back.
you would do that. I
I
would do
absolutely
that. Gen X would do that. I noticed something, and I'm not trying to rag on younger generations, and maybe this was just some guy on YouTube, but I remember years ago, some guy complaining that he bought a PlayStation 3 model where the thing was busted on it. Oh, the thing's busted on it, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, dude, you got your receipt. Go back to the store, say, give me another one. That's what you
Yeah.
do. You don't say, oh, it's busted, and go, woe is me. You take the thing back to the store, and then at that point, I wonder, is this a younger generation thing where they don't know they're supposed to do that? If you get a faulty product, sell it back. And actually, I will give points to Sony on this. They have recognized when games come out, if they're not working like they should, they'll give you a refund. When Cyberpunk launched on the PlayStation and it didn't run, they took it off the store and they gave people refunds. They were mad at the company that made it. Even with Concord, as much of a disaster as that was, they did offer refunds for people
Yeah.
with that game.
Good.
So I do give them points for that. They did recognize their screw up. I do sometimes wonder if that screw up is maybe one of the reasons why their console is so expensive now, though. I don't know. It could be a number of factors. There's also
Well, and I would give them even more points if, as a result, they started getting better quality control. I don't believe that's going to happen, but
Okay, so this is Take-Two, Rockstar Games. Rockstar is known to have a very high pedigree for their quality of game. Like they tweak things to the nine on their game. They're one of the most dedicated developers out of there. Unfortunately, I know they've had a lot of new people over there, and I don't know how this one is going to be. I can't speak to this game's quality compared to the other ones because I know that Dan Houser, I think, left there. A lot of people that started Rockstar Games are no longer there. Doesn't mean this game will be bad. I just don't know. Do I think this game is going to sell? Yes. But I do think at $100, no. I think here's what I think the problem with $100 is. Let's say game consoles are very expensive, but you really want the Grand Theft Auto game, so you're going to basically sprint for a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox, even though they increase prices. And then you get the ticket on this game as $100. You're just going to say no.
yeah.
And I think right now, software, if you're raising the price of hardware, you really can't be raising the price of software. I think that's a dead end, and I'm kind of shocked Nintendo did it with the Switch too, with some of their games. So yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6 has reportedly been developed since 2014, with Rockstar confirming active development in 2022. Almost 8-year development cycle on this thing. Real question behind the price. Ultimately, the conversation about Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't just about what's in the game, but what players will have to pay to get their hands on it, whether it'll feel worth the long wait. As anticipation builds for pre-orders and official word on price, Take-Two's latest comments suggest Grand Theft Auto 6 likely won't reach the extreme levels some had feared, keeping it closer to the standard cost of a major new release. Okay, well, this is actually some good reporting by WW Pro. I'm assuming this is just him. What's the word I'm looking for? Speculating by what the boss said, that it's $70 to $80 titles. He's not even talking about $100 titles. You know what drives me crazy though? I think, what is it? Take-Two owns Rockstar, and Take-Two owns a game called Reaper that was made for the PCs in the late '90s, which I would love to see get a re-release, but it probably won't because they make all their money off Grand Theft Auto. They don't need to release an old game, but oh well. Grand Theft Auto. Oh, because Sweet Baby Inc. is involved. I didn't think about that. I think that was confirmed, wasn't it? It's possible they were involved, and that the reason why it's taking longer to come out is because now they have to scrub the Sweet Baby ink out of it. That's another possibility.
Oh, that could be.
That they went a woke route and realized was a really stupid thing to do, so they might be trying to get rid of that now. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I think they're going for a Bonnie and Clyde type of thing with the plot of this game. With the boyfriend and girlfriend there.
That would be on brand. I don't see why
Okay,
not.
so I don't think they've done anything like that before, so. All right. We will see. I think this game will sell well, but don't push the audience, Rockstar. You can make money off of DLC, and frankly, you can make money off the Grand Theft Auto Online, so I would not be charging more than $70 for this thing. NVIDIA's own DLSS5 announcement video gets taken down by YouTube in Italy due to copyright strike. Yes, was Smash JT was talking about this, right?
Yes, he was.
I don't remember what he was saying, but yeah, and it was a YouTube video for using the trailer used for its own broadcast.
Right.
So yeah, let me go ahead and get to this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a local TV channel has successfully sent a YouTube strike to every video on the Italian version of the platform that uses DLSS5 trailer, including NVIDIA itself. Gaming content creator Nick Tech said on their X account that the Italian media company used footage from the DLSS5 trailer for its own coverage. However, it seems that the overzealous employee of the Italian company sent out a massive DMC complaint, and then YouTube's AI monitor stepped in and took down every other video that had the same content. What's ironic is that even NVIDIA, the source of the clip is in question, taken down by YouTube, which means that no one's running the store.
Right. Exactly. This is clearly NVIDIA's video, and they got hit with a copyright strike because YouTube's stupid algorithm said, hey, and I was talking with Netter behind the scenes about this. I said, it's just like, well, tonight, me and Netter and a Boomer, we're probably all going to get notifications. Hey, do you know these other two streamers streamed exactly this 100% of your content? Do you want to, send them a takedown notice?
Right.
Now, of course, we never do that because we are allowing each other. This is a collaboration.
Right.
We do it all the time. We do it with deleted scenes. We do it with Big Al all the time. But I understand YouTube doesn't know the difference. Fine. But they did this, and apparently this Italian channel is like, yeah, let's hit everybody, including NVIDIA. Now NVIDIA is like, we're going to go to court over this if we have to.
It's time. I want someone on the stand telling me what is going on behind the scenes.
Right.
Because we don't know.
And this is the thing. You have so many people that try to run interference for YouTube and say, well, if you're contesting it, it goes into escrow until the mediation's done, and then you get all the money. It's like, no, because in this case, it's a copyright strike and the video got taken down. So all the advertising that NVIDIA was expecting to get is lost. That's lost revenue. Time is money on these things. A lot of these news-related channels do a piece on a news article. You wait a month. Now nobody cares about it, and they're not going to watch your video now a month later. That's why I don't do a lot of clips of anything but the In Remembrances and Good Old Days for Geeky Geezers, because no one's going to be talking about this a week from now, so nobody's going to care, if I do a clip of this 3 weeks from now. And that's a real problem. That's real lost revenue. And there really just is no excuse for this. Now, here's another thing. These were copyright strikes. So NVIDIA's like, doesn't care about the copyright strike. But what about the YouTube outlet that was talking about this? Hey, look, NVIDIA's doing this, that, and the other, boosting the signal. They get maybe in this case, it was a third copyright strike, lost their channel. Now they can't even, petition YouTube to get the situation fixed. I'm serious, folks. If you get a third copyright struck, there is no way to contact YouTube and say, this is a mistake, give me my channel back. It don't happen. And this is what YouTubers are complaining about. So you have a whole bunch of people here who got false copyright claimed by this unscrupulous company.
Well, let's be honest with you, too. This is legacy media.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it's Italian, but
it's
the same
This is
thing.
just absolutely ridiculous. And completely unfair. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. I do hope NVIDIA... Well, my understanding is it's been put back up. But if I was NVIDIA, I would say no. It was down for a period of time. Time that I, expected ad revenue for.
Yeah.
We're going to court about this.
We need to know who's running things. We need to know what the standards are. We don't. We don't know this.
Exactly.
All right. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll see if more happens. I want to see if there's going to be a court case coming out of this. We'll see.
Should be.
Or they'll settle. Streamflation might be nearing a crisis point.
I wonder. No wonder.
This is interesting. So, right as the biggest players in entertainment are turning streaming into a viable business, there's a growing concern that a wrench could be thrown into the entire sector. Consumers are grappling with rising prices everywhere they look, and there are signals that their willingness to keep paying more might be nearing a breaking point. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was looking into doing Shudder, and it's just too pricey. Can I at least get it down to like 50 something a year? And there's no coupons. They used to entice you with deals. They don't do that anymore. And it's like, no. Let's go on Tubi.
Yep.
Okay. Right as, but yeah, gas, groceries, and yes, streaming services are rising in price at a cadence that most people would acknowledge is faster than they would prefer. Why are the streaming services rising in price, though? Because they're not a necessity. I don't know if Disney and them are aware of this, that these things are not necessities. We don't have to have streaming services in the house.
We got we got Nate saying the breaking point is in my rearview mirror, and Lynn is saying tough choice, like not paying for any streaming service. Yeah, that's why, with the and I've mentioned this a number of times, with the exception of the one service that I didn't even realize I had the streaming service until I found out later we'd gotten it for a completely different reason. That was just a side benefit. I don't pay for any streaming services. And, there's a couple of Netflix series like Cobra Kai where I've bought the DVDs, you know.
Because they do release them.
Shudder, I would be happy to buy the DVDs for them.
Shudder does do physical releases too, yes. Well, Shudder used to be a pretty good deal, but now they've gone up like everybody else.
Yeah.
It isn't hyperbole. The U.S. government inflation data released in January by the Bureau of Labor Statistics said that subscription and rental of video and video games saw inflation of 19.5% in December. That is a category that includes subscription streaming services like Netflix, HBO Max, and Disney Plus. And I'm assuming in regards to games, it's the rental services like Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and things like that. Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max all launched price increases late last year, and last month Netflix hiked prices across all of its plans. On Friday, YouTube Premium raised prices across all its plans for the first time in 3 years. Do you know what this is starting to sound like? Cable?
I was going to say taxation in blue states, but okay.
Wasn't that the problem with cable? Cable kept increasing.
Yeah.
And then people just said, I'm going to cut the cord, I'm going to stream.
And Nate said they're raising prices because they're not getting any new subscribers. So they're trying to make up for it with the subscriptions they already have. And that's, by the same token, there are a lot of blue states, it's mostly blue states, that keep raising taxes because they say they're raising taxes on the rich so they can keep giving benefits to, in theory, give benefits to the poor, but what they're really giving benefits to are their corporate lobbyists. And so the rich people start going, well, screw this, and they move out of the state. Now you have less tax revenue coming in, so you raise your taxes even higher, and even more people leave the state. And then all you have is the poor people that you said you were supposed to be helping, and they're not paying you the taxes. So you end up with situations like you have in New York and California and Chicago. I just saying.
Well, yes, but in regards to streaming, I think it might also have something to do with the content on there, such as Starfleet Academy, which is not a draw for your platform.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, what is that line from Star Wars? The more you tighten your grip, Tarkin, the more star systems will slip through your fingers. Well, the higher you raise your price, streaming services, the more subscribers will slip through your fingers.
Yes. The average household spends $69 on streaming services per month, essentially flat from last year. Just that consumers are churning more or downgrading to ad tiers or finding other ways to keep their monthly entertainment spend stable. Deloitte suggests trend survey revealed that more than 6 in 10 respondents said they would cancel their favorite streaming service if the monthly price rose by $5. Okay, that's the customer saying don't do it. Deloitte suggests that streamers should lean into fandoms, which in turn can bolster engagement and retention on their services. But as the prices keep rising, consumers will inevitably end up picking and choosing. They can't really lean into fandoms because all they've been doing for the past few years is attacking the fandoms.
Yep. Yeah.
That's, and screaming at them and saying
and ironically the so-called fandom they're appealing to, the so-called new fandom, are not really the ones that are watching this stuff.
Of course, the ad-supported tiers could also function as a salve of sorts. I have to pay for ads.
Yeah, no.
Giving
That's
users...
another cable thing. Because I've said this many times. When cable first started, it started out as what was called pay TV.
Yes.
And what were you paying for? You were paying for premium television without ads. And then they started adding ads. And their excuse back then was, well, it's just like the newspaper. You pay $1.10 for the newspaper, but it's full of ads. Well, people are sick of it.
I thought this comment was in this article, but I think one guy said that his kids, all they're watching nowadays is the premium YouTube. That's all. They're not interested in the stuff on the streaming services. So why am I paying this money for these other services?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's. I mean, what is it really? It's really Netflix, maybe Disney Plus. I don't know if they made any inroads, and I don't know who else it is. I'm sorry, Peacock, Paramount Plus. You got nothing. HBO even.
And honestly, let's be honest with you, Peacock, Paramount Plus is going to be going away when it combines with Warner Brothers.
Well, they have the Taylor Sheridan series, which are popular with an older crowd, but the Star Trek stuff is terrible.
But they are going to combine it with whatever Universal's got. It's going to be a combined thing. And if they raise the price, then you go, well, you just combine two services. I guess I kind of see that,
Wait a minute, I'm not paying $10.99 for streaming service with the commercials because the commercials are supposed to be paying them. Well, I understand that, Nate, but it's right. They need money to pay for these for the catering tables for these expensive shows. That was a joke based on
yes.
Paramount Skydance secures $24 billion from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. Funds for Warner Brothers deal. Listen to this. Paramount Skydance, led by David Ellison, has received commitments of close to $24 billion to buy its takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery from 3 Middle Eastern sovereign wealth funds. Variety has confirmed. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund agreed to provide about $10 billion to Paramount, with the state-controlled funds of Qatar and Abu Dhabi providing the remainder of the $24 billion, according to a source familiar with the agreement, as first reported by the Wall Street Journal. Paramount Skydance spokesperson declined to comment. Paramount did acquire Warner Brothers Discovery, which has $111 billion. The enterprise loan value is pending regulatory approvals. The companies have said they expect the deal to close by the end of third quarter 2026. So it's still up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know what might happen. Okay.
It is interesting because, and this is why I brought this up, more as an update to some things we talked about before. When they were still in negotiations against Netflix, this kind of foreign investment was on the table, and then it looked like it wasn't going to happen. But then when they raised their own bid personally, Netflix is like, okay, yeah, we can't compete with that. I'm out. This kind of implies, as they go into talking with regulatory divisions in the government, hey, look, this brings in $24 billion from overseas. So this is a good infusion of dollars too.
Okay. Have you tried that chocolate from Abu Dhabi? The pistachios
I have
in it?
not. I have not. Although the idea of pistachios in chocolate is appealing to me. I think it's the whole Dubai style name nomenclature that kind of puts me off. Because Nate is here saying, mark my words, gentleman and lady, because of this Middle East investment, woke is dead at Skydance Paramount. I think it kind of is anyway. Because they have to make money to pay back these people and the debt. Yep. I think you're absolutely
they're
right.
talking about...
Plus,
Go ahead.
say what you want to about certain religions. Certain religions are not too friendly to the woke messaging. Just saying.
I'm kind of curious as to what they're going to say about... I know Ellison said he's very interested in comedies. Now, why is Ellison interested in comedies? Because comedies used to be a movie what would cost little money and make a lot at the box office.
Correct.
It was always comedies and horror that you were always guaranteed to get a return on your investment because they didn't cost a lot to make. And I think maybe I want to see a return to comedies. I need... Except when we get great comedic actors, they get kicked out. Like that one actor from the first two Deadpool movies, who was also on Silicon Valley. I think he got Me Too'd or something, so he got kicked out. I thought he was very funny. I thought he could have been like a modern Steve Martin or Chevy Chase or something like that. But what was I going to say though? But yeah, I have tried the Dubai. What?
Wait a minute.
What?
Nate said the people in Qatar hate the Flintstones, but Abu Dhabi do.
That's very funny.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Boomer is right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sure I'm right about a great many things. I did try the Abu Dhabi the what's it called? Dubai chocolate. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
You know what it was like? Actually, weirdly enough, I want to say that the inside of it. They always show the videos. The bar I had, it was more like wafers, like kind of like a Butterfinger type inside,
Sure.
or like it's almost like instead of using peanut, like a peanut butter base, like a peanut butter wafer inside, it was a pistachio flavored wafer. That's what it was like.
Interesting.
So you might find it interesting, actually.
Oh, so like instead of peanut butter, it's a pistachio butter. That kind
sort of, yeah. Except it was not. It was more solid though. So sort of like when you get like. I don't know, like the Little Debbie Nutter things. It's hard to explain, but yeah, it's because it wasn't sticky like Butterfinger, but it had that kind of consistency.
Like Buddy Bars.
Yeah, like Buddy Bars, kind of like that, but with pistachios. Yes.
Nice.
Sony Pictures Entertainment lays off hundreds as it refocuses on strategic priorities.
Surprise.
Yeah, maybe you wouldn't have to do that if you didn't sell the number one movie of the year to Netflix.
I was just going to say strategic priorities means we want to make money, just saying. Well, in fairness on that one, they didn't know that was going to be such a big hit. Right? I mean,
they could have sold streaming rights to it, but kept the rights themselves. They just sold the rights themselves. That's because, I'm sorry, I hate some of these companies. I think you have a lot of out-of-touch people running them.
Oh, absolutely. They did not know what they had. You're absolutely right. And there's people that just don't know how to read the market. Look at this. We talk all about the woke stuff. I don't think most of these people even really believe in any of it. They just think, oh, it's the thing now. It'll make us money. And for a while, it did in a certain way. But they weren't looking far enough down the line.
So, Sony Pictures Entertainment is laying off hundreds of employees across its film studio, TV studios, and corporate, as CEO Ravi Ahuja refocuses the entertainment company on certain core growth areas while pulling back on other places. A source described the move as being about strategy, not cost cutting. SPE, of course, is unique among the major Hollywood studios that it is focused on creating original film and TV projects and selling them to networks and streamers rather than trying to become a major streaming platform. Sony does own the anime platform Crunchyroll. SPE is said to be doubling down on that strategy while leaning into its strength in anime and its sister company PlayStation, with video game based intellectual property still somewhat underutilized. The company plans to expand its game show business. SPE produces Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, among other formats. I didn't know that. Developing more content on free streaming platforms like YouTube, see the reboot of Reading Rainbow, and develop more owned IP from the likes of Peanuts, which SP recently acquired, and PlayStation titles. Please don't ruin Peanuts for me. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. While the industry around us continues to evolve, we are uniquely positioned for this moment, Ahuja told his staff in Membo Tuesday morning. The demonstrated value of our independent television and film studios offers us flexibility to move with the market, to partner broadly, match projects with the right platforms, and support our creative partners in bringing great stories to life. Furthermore, we are underpinned by strong franchises and brands, and our connectivity to the broader Sony Group ecosystem centers us for accelerated growth in anime and game IP adaptations. This organizational shift is about reorientating to thrive in a changing industry, he added. By aligning our structure and resources more closely with our strategic priorities, we will move forward with greater clarity and momentum and be better equipped for innovation and resilience. At least he didn't use the word synergy.
No, yeah, good point.
Please. All right, we'll see. I mean, I don't have as much bad stuff to say about Sony as a lot of these other companies. Sony canceled the Batman Beyond video game that would have had a similar look to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Oh, that's interesting. Splinter Cell Death Watch was surprisingly... Oh, sorry. I thought that was tied to the thing. And they lost a lot of money on their Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. I forgot about that, Geek Flag. Morbius.
Yeah.
Have you seen Morbius yet?
No, I haven't been particularly in a hurry for Morbin time.
I
think we broke Boomer here.
We broke Boomer.
It's hard for me to explain Morbius to you because I wasn't a fan of the first Venom movie, and it was somehow worse than Venom. I didn't see any of the other Venom movies. They're trying to make these Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. It's like trying to make a Batman series that's about the Butler and no Batman. I don't understand this.
Yeah. Do you does anyone here know if Sony finished or was it Sony or was it Disney that was doing the Nicolas Cage Ben Reilly Spider-Man Noir?
That one I'm curious about.
Yeah, has that gone out yet, or is that
it comes
still
on
in
Amazon?
production?
Do you get Prime? Because it's coming to Prime this summer.
This summer. Okay, yeah, I do have Prime.
So you can probably watch it, yeah. And don't forget about Craven the Hunter and Madam Web. Yeah, well, Madam Web, that was just... In some ways, that launched Sydney Sweeney's career, but not...
Not in a good way. More
well,
like...
it got her notoriety, and I
it
guess...
It got her the whole,
Dakota
this
Johnson.
Poor girl, she deserved better kind of notoriety.
There's so many women in that. I think the actress that played Dora, the adult Dora the Explorer... Anyway, which a lot of men were saying.
I'm sure there's an adult Dora the Explorer.
Okay, moving on to Disney CEO Josh D'Amaro slashes up to 1,000 jobs as company reckons with years of costly missteps. Disney CEO, wait a minute, did I miss something? Did I miss an article in the past? Disney is preparing to eliminate as many as 1,000 positions. This marks one of the first major moves under Disney's new Disney CEO Josh D'Amaro, who took over in March 2026 after Bob Iger's exit. Did we do an article about that?
We might have done.
After all this time, we didn't do the... Because I'm thinking we've been waiting for Iger to leave. We must have done it. I think I didn't care. Such a move comes in a combination of the ongoing positions lost at Sports Colossus ESPN. The timing also seems mysteriously line up with a Department of Justice investigation into NFL media deals that are reportedly unrelated, yet there seems to be a pattern at Disney, and it's not a kind one. Back in 2022, with the return of Bob Iger, the company shed more than 8,000 jobs. Now, new Disney CEO Josh D'Amaro is pushing a strategic reset focused on efficiency. This includes combining Disney Plus and Hulu operations. As Hollywood Scooper WW Pro reported, that will fully realize in 2026. Heavily discounted bundles already exist, combining Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus, as well at multiple price points. Years of reimagining classic properties and chasing diversity mandates delivered at best mixed box office results and streaming challenges that audiences often rejected. It led to diminished values and perceptions of key verticals in both Marvel and Star Wars as well. Even the film that set the Disney brand star in Hollywood was not immune from catastrophic, politically driven failure. Live-action remake of Snow White lost hundreds of millions of dollars at the box office. So they've been having a lot of failures lately.
Yeah, but you got to read between the lines on this one. There's more to it than just that. Right, you can go after the woke, you could talk about all that, but what the bottom line is, without any spin, they realize that they have not been profitable. Josh D'Amaro is claiming we're going to do something about that, whatever that is, but low-key, he's throwing Bob Iger under the bus for it.
Well, he's not working there anymore.
Exactly, and when they got rid of him as quickly as they did, with no fanfare, nothing, and said, "Oh, by the way, Josh D'Amaro's taken over, and here we go, and oh, now we're changing all this stuff." There's a reason for it, folks.
Yeah, marketing teams ballooned under earlier structures only to face consolidations now. Yeah, apparently it's cost of chasing the wrong metrics. Shareholder pressure is much higher, so the leadership is doing what was delayed for so long, real cost control through headcount reduction. That's the only avenue of correction. Okay.
Yeah.
What the cultural rot leaves behind, Disney's former business, it destroyed the now famous flywheel. To combat the previous anti-family approach, an obvious and aggressive campaign is required, such as a switchback to gendered language in the parks, as reported recently. Oh, so they've recently done that.
Wow, that's a big deal. WDW Pro has made it a big point to always start his shows out with boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we can still use that kind of gendered language here on the Pro Show. They don't in the parks. Well, now they're going back to it, and I wonder why. And I can't help but think that maybe, at least in some tiny small part, it's because of a channel like WDW Pro pointing it out over and over and over and over again.
Are they going to change Bob? Are they going to charge Bob Iger the water bill for having so many showers? Yeah, I bet it's.
Well, here's the question: Will Josh D'Amaro be taking out one of those showers? Or getting rid of some of those offices.
Take a shower at home. I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Well, in fairness, I've been known to take a shower at work when I was working long hours, but you had to go down to the weight room to do that, to the locker room.
I have to say, though, we're not getting rid of the... I'm sorry. I felt like I was at the Mario movie this week, and all the trailers were for Girl Boss Movie, Girl Boss Movie, Girl Boss Movie.
Yeah.
Because you have the Moana sequel, the Moana live-action movie coming out.
This was, and this was something that...
And the Supergirl trailer for the new Supergirl was in there.
You got WDW Pro and so many other channels pointing this out, that Disney had the girl market wrapped up. They already had the whole princess thing going on. By buying Star Wars, they were supposed to be getting themselves a boy brand. And they completely trashed the boy brand by turning it into a girl brand, or, girl boss brand.
Same thing with Marvel.
And then they also, they destroyed Marvel as well, which would have been a boy brand, turned it into a girl boss brand. And in both of those cases, the girls didn't respond because they didn't like the girl bosses. And then they did the same thing to the princesses. They made them all girl bosses. And the girls were like, I want to be a princess. I'm sorry, but I thought feminism was all about a woman's right to choose, and you're choosing for them.
See, K-pop Demon Hunters, in my personal opinion, that's an example of a girl brand right now.
Yeah.
And it's fine
without weakifying them. I mean, they're still, superhero type.
Yes, they're
girls,
superheroes that fight demons.
But when they're not actually literally fighting the demons, they're into girly things.
All right, so Bob Iger has sold his shares, approximately value time June. Oh, so he's taking the money and running.
Right. Well, I said he was going to. I'd say he was going to
go to an island somewhere, but that probably has a
that might have the wrong. Well, it might have too much of the right.
Maybe, okay, well, yeah, that's why. That's why I used to say that, because like if you had lots of money, you'd go buy an island somewhere and just live on that.
Right.
So here's the box office update, because it's been a slow news week. So figured I'd talk about Super Mario Galaxy movie leading with a great second weekend at 17.7 million. Second Friday, 69.7 as the number one haul. Universal's movie goes to 308 million to 309 million. Okay, we knew it was going to do well.
Yep.
Overall weekend down 12% a year ago, though, from what the movies were doing this time with the Minecraft movie. So that's interesting.
Well, no matter what's going on in the entertainment industry specifically, there's a lot of other factors that have to be taken into account. And we got some stuff going on in the world right now that is directly impacting all areas of business. Let's be honest about that. However you feel about that, the truth is the truth.
Yeah. So, but still think it's doing all right. I guess. Relish reports that Social Media Universe for Me, You, and Tuscany was running 2.1% above romantic comedy drama norms across TikTok. Okay, well, what does that mean, though? Oh, combined at 343. Oh, did it do well? Okay, You, Me, and Tuscany. All right. After 3 point... No, it doesn't sound like it did.
Nate says, if I had the money, I would buy an island and you could all come with me. Better yet, Nate, why don't you buy a whole fleet of ships? And then we'll live on international waters. Hey, you know what we could even do? We could even start our own religion. And we could even start a space fleet. Okay. Let's think about this. We can avoid having to pay taxes because of religion. And why does this sound familiar?
Yes. Very funny. But, okay, so it's doing well. You and Me in Tuscany, 3.2 million Friday, including 74, and opening 8.3 million. Is that good, though? I guess that's good enough. I don't know. I can't tell by how much it cost to make. Okay. I think that's the way they had the actress from the Little Mermaid remake in it.
Oh yeah.
I think she ends up in Italy in this movie. It looked cute it looked like a Hallmark type movie from the trailer. So I don't know. Okay. All right. We're moving on. Movie should have been
we
about
can buy a fleet of submarines and create our own Seven Seas Federation. I'm good with that.
I'm a little sad, though. I feel like this movie, I wanted more of Yoshi roaming around Brooklyn. They do this one part in the movie where it's just Yoshi, and he goes through the wrong pipe, and he ends up in Brooklyn, and it's just him doing weird things in Brooklyn. And eventually, he gets an angry mob after him because he doesn't know the rules and stuff, and he's just... Like, I think he steals sneakers well, maybe he doesn't steal sneakers from the store. I just kept thinking, where did he get the sneakers from? I don't think he came out of the egg with those, right? So, I'm just saying, but he's... I don't know. It was just kind of funny. All right,
I feel like they could do a whole series of cartoon shorts about him in Brooklyn.
Maybe they'll be on the Blu-ray. If they do, I'll definitely want to pick that up.
That would be neat.
Yoshi, okay. He's a dinosaur, in case you didn't know. Okay.
Ew.
This I'm a little interested in because
the
Ice Cream Man. Now, this is what's throwing me for a loop. Is this a remake of the movie Ice Cream Man starring Clint Howard as the Ice Cream Man back in the day?
Oh, interesting.
You remember that movie?
I remember the poster art for it. I don't know if I saw it.
Was it in the video store you worked at?
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
The Ice Cream Man. So, yeah, this is basically... This was about a serial killer weirdo that also drove an ice cream truck, and like when you would see him getting scooped, there'd be like eyeballs and things in with the ice cream. It
Ew.
just yes, and I think David Warner was in that movie as a
Are you
minister.
kidding me?
But he was like
Seriously?
playing the town minister. I was like, you have David Warner, you're not making him a villain. It's like he's just a normal, guy. Just anyway. So from Hostel and Thanksgiving director Eli Roth, Ice Cream Man is serving up a new poster ahead of its teaser trailer debut this Monday. So I'll be talking about that trailer next week. The unrated horror film will release in theaters nationwide on August 7th via the horror section Iconic Releasing. Why is everything always in August that I want to see?
Well,
Release it when I'm off, please.
yes. Get in touch with Agent Boomer. Find out what his schedule is, and
I
plan
guess it's
your
early
whole
enough that I can catch
corporate
it before.
plan around
Yes,
him.
yes. Written by Roth and longtime friend Noah Benson, Ice Cream Man follows an idyllic summer town descending into madness when Ice Cream Man serves kids a sweet delights with horrifying results. I need to see this movie. This is what's bothering me. Is this a remake of the Clint Howard movie, or is this something else? I don't know. But Ari Millen from Orphan Black stars in the titular role alongside Benjamin Byron Davis from Red Dead Redemption. That's a game. Karen Cliche, Thanksgiving. Dylan Hawko, Sarah Abbott, Shiloh O'Reilly, Kiari. Okay. A bunch of other actors. Snoop Dogg, who's been working with Roth on the upcoming Don't Go in That House pitch. Don't Go in That House pitch is contributing music to the film. Wait a minute, that's a title? Don't Go in That House bitch. What do you think of that?
Don't know. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. I don't know. Come on. Admit it. You're okay. You could have gotten swag. Okay. Ice Cream Man will have swag and photo ops at CinemaCon Las Vegas on April 14th, including an appearance by Roth at 12:30. Come on now. Troy, I could go for some ice cream right now. Really? That's not raspberry. That's not raspberry topping on that. Okay, that's something else. All right. I do like vanilla with sprinkles though. That's a good combo. I like soft serve with vanilla with the rainbow sprinkles. Anyway, Troy, there's been a better question. Why are so many released during the wrong time of the year, although not around Halloween? Well, to be fair though, you think of the Ice Cream Man, you do think of summer, right?
True. That's true. Yeah.
He's coming around. The bell rings. I have to say, were you ever always too late for the ice cream truck as a kid?
No.
Try to get the change. Mom, can I have $1, please? And then you go out and the truck's pulling away, and it's
Well, what would happen is my mom got to know what the Ice Cream Man's route was. So if we missed him like right in front of our house, we knew it would be going down to the next street and back up. So we'd go like down the street to the other corner and wait for him there.
There's nothing more magical than the Ice Cream Man. And I think it's an American tradition that still exists, right? I think there's still an Ice Cream Man.
What would you get from the Ice Cream Man? What was your ice cream?
Well, they would have. I think one Ice Cream Man I got, they actually had cones. You could actually get cones. But I guess if it was the standard stuff that was like the good humor stuff, I would get like. I think it was the frog, the frog shaped head, the green ice cream with the frog shaped like a frog's head. Do you remember that at all?
Did it have like chocolate on one side?
Yes, that's the one. I think I always tried to get that one. That was the one I always wanted. Yeah, because you never saw that in stores.
I always got the, and my mom did too. It was, if you can imagine, it was like a vanilla, it was like good humor type, ice cream on a stick type of thing. But it was vanilla ice cream with coconut. And I just loved it. I just loved it.
Tasty.
And when they stopped doing that, I think I started getting the chocolate eclair. It was kind of okay.
See, now my favorite, and I never knew what it was called, so I couldn't ask for it all the time, but it basically looked like your regular vanilla on a stick with the chocolate coating, but occasionally I would get one, and in the center of the vanilla, there'd be a piece of chocolate.
Yes.
That's incredible.
That was the same brand that did the eclairs, and I can't remember what it was called.
They would go the extra mile with these novelties you bought at the truck. I noticed this.
Yep.
I used to get Choco Taco. It's basically an ice cream sandwich with ice cream cone shaped like a taco shell. I think I remember those.
I never got them from the ice cream man, but my uncle sold them in his marina, so I got them.
Very cool.
I got them there. Yeah, and that was really nice because I could literally take it out of the freezer, and so it was cold, hard cold. So I'd usually have it eaten before all the melting started.
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. That was the name of a Masters of Horror episode, which had William Forsythe as the evil undead ice cream man in that.
Wow.
Who was getting revenge on all the kids that caused his death years ago, and now they're adults, so he's using their kids to get revenge on them, and it was just a ridiculous episode. Never loved sprinkles. Okay. Oh, sorry. What's this?
Troy, here in my town, we don't have ice cream man, but we have the snack trucks with shaved ice drinks, or corn in a cup. Elote.
What is corn in a cup?
Literally, they'd shuck the corn, off the cob into a cup, and they mix it with butter, salt, and sometimes mayonnaise and
okay.
What is it? Red pepper or cayenne pepper?
I see. Okay.
Yeah, because they would do the same thing in my neighborhood. They'd come around with the carts, and they only had the corn. It was just elote, and they would it would be on the cob, already in the butter, and then they would salt it, put mayonnaise on it, and pepper if you wanted it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that shaved ice. That's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Italian ice truck. Sometimes they have those too.
I never saw that in a truck.
I have in Florida, oddly enough. Yeah.
We would go down to Taylor Street, on the kind of the southeast side of Chicago. Southwest side of Chicago, right around Racine, and there's a place called Mario's Italian Lemonade, and they've got like the best. If you've ever gotten like so-called Italian ice in like a cup from the freezer, that's completely different. This is like fresh. It's got big pieces of lemon in it.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
They constantly are churning it so it never solidifies. You can get it in like a little tiny squeeze cup up to like big gallon size jugs with the lids on them to take home in ice. And you can't get the you also got to get the lupini bean that they got there, the little bite and squeeze, and yeah, they're kind of salty, yummy. Oh gosh, fond memories.
Oh, apparently Nate says that he thinks that Netter's thing was called the King Cone. Is that right?
Oh, that's probably right. Yeah, let me take a look.
I don't know.
Let's see. From Good Humor. Oh, no, that was not exactly the same thing. That was like a drumstick. It wasn't a cone. It was on a stick. And the stick had a thick piece of chocolate on it with the vanilla ice cream over it and the chocolate and, coating on it.
That's ringing a bell to me.
I got that one, and it didn't have the chocolate in the middle. I was always so disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like a crapshoot which one I was going to get.
That's too bad. Well, that's this evening's good old days. Now we gotta go through. I'm sorry, wait.
Exactly. I found it. It was called. Well, I don't know what they were called back then, but now they are called Good Humor Candy Center Core Bars.
Yeah, that's not what they were called before.
That's not what they were called before, but that is definitely what you're talking about, right, Netter?
Oh.
Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Hey, I want a scene in this movie where Keanu Reeves goes up to the ice cream truck and says, "Chocolate with sprinkles," because that's a reference to a movie that he was in with Eli Roth where he played the dad getting accosted by the two nubile young women. And,
really?
But in the beginning of that movie, it's his birthday. He says, "Oh, chocolate with sprinkles." So they should just do that as a cameo where he says that.
Would be awesome.
Like he's one of the guys going to the ice cream, says, "Chocolate with sprinkles," and the guy and that's all he has to do for the whole movie, just to have that one scene. That
oh my gosh. Good Humor has an Almond Joy ice cream bar that looks really
I
good.
want to try that. Good Humor. They always have more stuff than you see in the stores. It drives me
Oh
nuts.
yeah.
Now to get excited, I know you are because you're big on Hasbro, right?
Yeah.
Hasbro expands Tron franchise with new action figure lines.
I can guarantee you that Michael French over at Retro Blasting is going to do an unplugged video about this, probably in the next couple weeks. Maybe sooner, because unplugs don't really necessarily require so much forward preparation. But we got to back up a little bit here. So, not too very long ago, Hasbro had attempted a Tron HasLab
For
that was
classic Tron, right?
for classic Tron. It was, I'm trying to see if I can remember now. It was Flynn, Tron, the female character, Warner's bad guy character, and there was like two others. One was some other program, and one was another bad guy or something. And three of the light cycles, and like some sort of a display stand for them. And it was like freaking ridiculous expensive. We actually talked about this on a previous episode of Geeky Geezers when it came out, and I said I don't think this thing is going to fund. They are way overpriced. And it didn't. So those figures aren't going to happen. And then they come out with this bull crap for Tron Legacy. And 3.5-inch HasLab crowdfunded Tron's Heroes of the Grid line? Again? No, that can't be right. That already failed. Are they trying it again? Well, maybe you should just read the article and I'll
Let's
get
do
caught
it.
up.
Hasbro is expanding its presence in the digital frontier with the launch of two distinct action figure lines based on the Tron franchise. The company is introducing these products across two different scales: 6-inch line dedicated to Tron Legacy and 3 3/4-inch collector's set titled Tron Heroes of the Grid, which is being released through the crowdfunding platform HasLab. The new Tron product line comes as anticipation builds for the upcoming film Tron Ares, signaling... What?
Is this an old article?
Wait a minute,
No,
I must have
this
the
is-
wrong...
No,
Oh.
this is April 10th, 2026.
What the devil? Excuse me. Excuse me. Wait a minute, I thought this was new. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry about this.
Let
Give
me
a
see if we can
second here.
confirm this from another site, because
Yeah,
this
I
is
thought this was-
absolutely April 10th, 2026 is what this article says.
Tron Legacy figures.
And if you go to Hasbro Pulse, the 6-inch ones they're talking about are absolutely
Here we go.
up.
Flickering Myth. Okay, I should have done Flickering Myth. Okay.
Okay.
I'll just paste it in the it's on Flickering Myth by Amy Cranstack.
Okay.
I'll read this article instead. All right. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Hasbro has officially unveiled its first Tron Legacy action figure offerings with an Identity Collection 4-pack containing action figures for Cora, Rinsler, Clue, and Kevin Flynn, as well as a light cycle with Sam Flynn figure, both of which are available for pre-order now. Take a look below. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I don't know why that article... It was...
Yeah, and I've just gone to Hasbro Pulse directly, and
Yes.
it's confirming the light cycle thing and the 3 figures, all in 6-inch, which is a bigger scale. This is not HasLab. This is by pre-order, but that doesn't mean it's going to sell out. You don't have to do the pre-order. It's up to you.
You know what my problem with this now? If it wasn't that Tron was in such a... This was a couple years ago. This might have excited me. I don't know. This is just... Because I felt like Disney kind of screwed up the merchandising on this movie. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe I'm
so you're
wrong.
looking
Yeah.
at $140 for a 4-pack of figures, and you're looking at $100 for a figure and a bike. This and again, keep in mind, this is this 6-inch scale that I don't know where people find room for all this crap. I'd only do 3 3/4 inch, and I'm barely barely have the room for it.
Yeah. But are they going to be 3 and high with more than 5 points of articulation be available by at stores? Well, they're going to be the larger figures. These are the 6-inch ones, said Jesse. That other series, that must have been the thing they were doing back in the fall.
Well, and that's the other thing. It's really not. Even if, in theory, they're going to be at retail, I don't think they are. I think this is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Definitely the pre-order is. And again, this is once again Hasbro catering to the adult collector market, the tiny niche within the tiny niche, which means this franchise is going to die. You know, I shared this with our resident Tron super fan, Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips, and I said, "Hey, you interested?" He goes, "Well, I would be if the price wasn't so high." I said, "Boom, there you go." And then this was on X, so I tagged Hasbro and I said, "Hey, Hasbro, get your prices in order, or you're not going to sell crap."
This actually makes me depressed looking at these figures, though, because it just reminds me of how much I loved Tron back in the day.
Yeah.
Back when Disney knew how to make cool stuff.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're absolutely right.
Of course, Warner Brothers used to be able to make good, cool stuff too, and now they make The Bride, which looks. They're pushing that on streaming now. Have you noticed that? And I'm just this
I'm
looks.
not surprised.
It looks terrible. That
Yeah.
stupid look where she has like the splotch of black on her face. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, it's just a shame because they're nice looking figures, but they're what? How much? It's like, yeah.
In fact, let me do this. Let me real quick. I can F11.
I came close to buying the what was the name of the video game they made when the movie came out? Tron Revolution, I think it was called. And that was when the game came out, Tron Legacy, and I think you could get a special edition that came with like a replica of the bike, and I almost bought it not for the game itself, which was middling, but the bike ceramic looked pretty cool actually, you know.
So real quick, I posted this to X. I said, "Hey Hasbro, are you sure you don't want to throw all these new Tron items into an unnecessary HasLab that won't fund? No. Why not? Seriously, why are you still doing HasLab? P.S. Put out the classic bikes and characters, like a normal company." And then I, linked to the Hasbro Pulse. I said, this all being said, Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips, you might be interested. And he said, if they weren't so pricey, maybe. I know, right? Hey, Hasbro, you need to get your prices under control. This is a trend that will kill your whole business model. It's also why the HasLab is a stupid model. Yeah. So I shared that whole thread with... why doesn't this go away when I take it down? There we go. So I shared this whole thread with Michael at Retro Blasting. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't put out a video about it.
Did he do anything about the new Tron movie? I should go look at his past videos. He might have done something on that. I don't know. I might have seen it.
Yes, he did. What he did was...
I might have watched it.
He did a great
re-uploaded
video.
Something, and then he put his an addendum at the end, right?
He did a great video.
Yes.
He did a great video where he was talking about the new film and how not Ares. I'm talking about the previous one. That he really liked it, but there were some things he would have done differently. And when he described what he would have done differently, I was like, that would have been a way better movie, But there you go.
All right.
And yeah, who was this? NYC Today, get your crap together. You lazy bastards just recycled an article from 3 years ago.
Here's what I think happened. I think someone over there messed up. They probably had the actual article. In fact, it's possible when I looked at this, it was the actual article. Now that I'm looking at it now, when I looked at it again, how that happens sometimes an older article gets switched out without us
Yeah, could
realizing.
be.
That might
Could
have been what
be.
happened here because I thought it was about this new thing. I mean, the date is correct.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think
Well, they need to get their crap together. Yeah.
that brings us to the end. Ending a little early tonight because, let's be honest, this was a slow news week.
Kind of was. Kind of was. Yeah.
I was like, I'm on a Thursday or Friday. I'm like, there's no news. That's why whenever there's no news, I go to Bloody Disgusting, and I'm like, there has to be something on Bloody Disgusting, and then that's when I found the Ice Cream Man as being this is what I want. I need to ask Eli Roth. Is this a remake of the? I guess I'll find out tomorrow when the teaser gets released. Is this a remake of the original, or is this a new movie with the title Ice Cream Man?
I don't know if they are if there's a citation for this. Maybe I'll have to go and check out a YouTube video about this. But apparently, Eli Roth's Ice Cream Man, releasing August 7th, 2026, is not a remake of the '95 Clint Howard cult film, but rather an original slasher story written and directed by Roth. The film follows a sinister ice cream vendor played by Ari Millen, who turns an idyllic town into chaos by serving tainted treats to children.
Okay. Well, I will. I'll have to. I'll have to watch the trailer then. Darn! I thought it was gonna be a remake. You can't really replace Clint Howard, though, can you? Right?
True. Yeah.
He actually. Remember at the MTV Movie Awards one day, they gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
On Howard's brother, and they showed clips from the Ice Cream Man movie. All I want is happy days. Like that was one of his things or something. Just a weirdo killing people. That sounds like the Ice Cream Man with Clint Howard. Maybe it's okay. I'll let Roth do his thing. All right, but yeah.
And did that at that Lifetime Achievement? Did they show his scene from Star Trek as Belloc?
I don't know. I should look into. They showed different scenes. Like I know he was in a bunch of different movies, but he's known from not playing not glamorous characters in movies. I'm gonna be polite.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess now that we're wrapping up, what do you got going? What do we got going on tonight? So we have deleted scenes, correct?
Yeah. If you stick around here,
Disinformation Highway.
Exactly. If you stick around, if you're on my channel, that is, I'm going to be forwarding you on to deleted scenes. Otherwise, deleted if you want to drop your link again for everybody else who's not on my channel.
Make sure you are subscribed to everybody. That way you make sure that this will pop up in your feed.
And then immediately after deleted, at 11, what is it? 11:30?
Yes.
11:30 Central, which is 12:30 Eastern. Back on my channel for Doctor Who. It will be the conclusion of the Aztecs. Again, first Doctor episodes. I think we're coming to the end of the first season.
I can't believe that one of the companions gets sacrificed and her heart ripped out at the end of the episode. That's just, I can't believe that happened.
I wish I could play out the bit, but that's almost the exact opposite of what happens because the companion is mistaken for a goddess, and she tries to change history by trying to end human sacrifice, and it doesn't really go well. So, for those of you that are into Doctor Who lore, this is kind of where the whole concept of you can't change history, not one line, comes from. Which of course leads into things like, what can be changed and what can't be changed. Things like stories like the fires of Pompeii or Time Lord
Waters of Mars
or whatever. Waters of Mars. Yeah, exactly.
That was when he did try changing something he wasn't supposed to change. Remember?
Right.
He was, and I felt that was the Tenant Doctor. He got a slap for that by whatever part of the universe did. He realized, my time's coming now. I did something I was not supposed to do.
And he really realized too. Yeah, the pride got to him. When you start to be seen as a god and you start to see yourself as a god, you need a little bit of humbling. Yeah.
That's one thing I always liked about the Doctor. He is a good guy, but he would make mistakes every now and then.
Yep. And it doesn't matter that he's over 1,000 years old. He still makes mistakes.
One of my favorite episodes is the finale of the Peter Davidson era, where him and Perry get that horrible disease in them, and they're going to die if they don't get out of there. And it's basically it's basically him going someplace because he was curious. They should have walked back in the TARDIS and just left. They should not have gone to that planet. That was a horrible place. I like the one review where they said it's Caves of Androzani, and they said, "What? I don't get this episode. All the characters in it are either evil or insane."
Yeah.
Yes, that's
the point. That is the point.
Like every one of the episodes, they're either bad people or they've gone nuts. That's it. It's like there's no redeemable characters in that episode except for Perry and the Doctor.
Right. And all they need to do is survive and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, and that's basically it. And it's one of the best Doctor regeneration finales I've ever seen. Yeah, I love that episode. And then they followed up with Colin Baker trying to kill his
who tries to kill Perry. So, I mean, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which I took to mean, to be fair, I did take that in canon, meaning that he had a very rough regeneration, that he was probably close to actually just dying and not even regenerating. And that's probably why he came out kind of screwed up at the beginning. So I kind of took it as that as a kid. But anyway, and then tomorrow night, you're going to do Members Night at the Movies, right?
Yeah, tomorrow night we're doing a movie that's been long past due on my channel. Don't know why we haven't done it before now. Cocktail with Tom Cruise and Elizabeth Shue.
Oh, good combo there.
Absolutely.
All right. And of course, tune in the rest of the week. We got stuff going. I don't know if you want to run through everything.
No, it's okay. Let's get them over to deleted.
Yeah. All right. Y'all have a good night. Do you want to say good night, Netter or Troy? You can say good night. No?
Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. We really do appreciate you.
Yes.
Good night, Netter or Troy.
Okay. Good night, everybody. We're going to end the broadcast. Should I?
Or play the outro.
Let me play the outro. Let me do it.
There you go.
I got to be. Let me do it.